Well, hello guys, welcome back. Somebody asked me if I could talk a little more about Baron Samedi because, he's come and approaching people to work with them. This is just my experience, and I am not an initiate in a house. I don't hold to any one tradition, Haitian, New Orleans, anything like that. Whatever works, I grab it. And he's just fine with that. There are non-initiate, um, things that you can find on the internet, like you can find veves to draw, and you can find rituals to do, and you can do all this good stuff, and we all really started there, so don't feel bad. And it's not wrong. You'll be doing it and you'll be getting great results, and Mamba so and so will come and say, well, Mamba what is all wrong, and you should listen to me, and this is all wrong, and she's trying to hurt you. Don't listen to people, listen to the Baron. God knows he loves to talk. If you think a Loki talks, you are not ready for the Baron. He can talk and talk and talk. His favorite subject is him. He loves him. No one will ever love the Baron as much as the Baron loves the Baron. He's usually, he's like anyone else. He has his moods, but he's usually great fun to be around. He is a charmer, and he will use it. One of his sacred duties is to push you to see how much he can get. If on the first day of meeting you, he could get you to marry him and decorate your entire house in his honor and get a huge back tattoo, he would get it out of you because that's a sacred duty, and he would just charm you into it. And being the Baron, he's kind of like Loki. He can want attention for a hot minute and then drop it and be like he was never there. But usually if he's coming to help people, he'll be, more upfront and serious. He won't be quite as playful. And he'll say, well, this is what I want to help you do, and you should figure out what he wants, because he has a tendency to bend the rules in his favor. A lot. You know you do. And some easy offerings are 2 coffees. One will be black and one will be sugar, but Haitian law, or New Orleans, or wherever you work with them, they are used to taking what they can get. If you only have water, or you don't even have water, or you can't even afford an offering, that's fine. But if you are eating, at least say to the Baron, offer up the essence of the food. They understand we get in really tight times. Now, he'll find ways of letting you know what he wants. Sometimes he gets a really grand altar out of people, and sometimes he gets a tiny altar. I would honestly say let him pick out the colors, because that's going to be, as you study up more on him, that will give you an idea of like in what sense he's going. Some people give him all black, some people give purple and white, some people say, oh, that's wrong, and they give him something else. It really depends on the house, if you're working through a house, what your house uses, or if you're working on your own, just go on your best judgment and he'll lead you. The purple altar cloth that Dionysus has used to belong to the Baron. And the Baron was very strategic. He brought that up here, and then, he came to me and his... Cher, ma petite fleur, I have given you so much. I have suffered so greatly. And you have to imagine this in this high nasally whine, and he's there like... And he's saying, if I could only remember how much I loved my Baron, and bring him, bring his skeleton down, bring some stuff down, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay. One time I worked intensely with him. When I first started working Voodoo, he was the first one to come. I didn't even know Papa Legba or anyone else. The Baron was the first one to come, and they gave me years with just the Baron. The other spirits were fine with that. They let me kind of heal up in the graveyard, because, at the time, everybody was being really nasty on the internet about, practicing voodoo, and the people that were trying to sell you kits were trying to sell you super scary voodoo, which doesn't actually exist, but they knew it made money off tourists and people on the internet, so that's what they were trying to sell you. He's not really scary. He likes to think he is, but he's not. He's more cute and cuddly. Oh, he knows he is. And he's more playful most of the time. He can be serious, and he's extremely wise. Some people say he has all the knowledge of all of our dead ancestors, so if somebody knew the answer at one point, he will know. He's a great healer, he's a great dancer, he's a lot of fun to be with. But I'd say let the relationship develop on its own, and whatever, he is saying he will give you, um, and you agree, say, to give him something in exchange, make sure that he follows through before you give it to him. One of Baron's sacred jobs, again, is to get stuff out of you, so he will, he's probably gonna kill me for this, but say you promise him a candle, and you promise him a fancy hoodoo candle, and it's like 400, well, it won't be $400, so it's like 40 bucks or something. And he says he will take that after he does the healing. Well, in the meantime, suddenly you have 6 of these candles, and they're all for him. So, just be careful. He's very sly and he's very charming. I tend to spoil him. I tend to baby him, but I tend to baby and spoil all my gods. But, in general, just keep an eye on him. He will take advantage. It is his sacred duty, and he's so charming about it. You won't really be mad at him, but if he says he'll do something, he's actually very truthful. He'll do it, but just make sure that you see that it's done to your satisfaction. And I'm not saying, like, he's here to work for you and, be your servant, but at the same time, make sure everything's done, because he'll take you at your word. If it's, you're not happy with it and you say you are, he's not going to work on that anymore. And if you go back to him and you say, well, I told you I liked what you did, but I'm really not happy because this is what I wanted done, it depends, but he might not be in the best mood at that point in time. So, just be honest with him. He will usually go out of his way to not be scary. He will chomp his teeth at you. That means it's kind of a threat. In Voodoo, they have the idea of them eating you. It doesn't mean they literally eat you. It means they eat all the stuff in your life around you until your life's not worth living. Now, I've never experienced him doing that. I had people tell me, oh, the Baron's going to eat you. You're not worshipping the real Baron. You're not working with him. You're not serving him. You're not whatever. It's taking him a long time to eat me. So yeah. So he's good. He's not scary. He's not evil. He's more immoral like Loki is, where he's mostly good. He will break the law at times, but that's because, if you look at the social structure in Haiti, a lot of times there's no justice for people, so the only justice you have is the law. So, that might be something to consider too. He will let you go down the wrong path. He'll warn you, but he will let you go down the wrong path. That's something to think of when working with the Baron. He might even try to stop you once or twice, but he is one of those, he's basically immoral, like Loki. Loki's the same way. So you have to kind of stand by your ethics and not be tempted by people that, once you start working with the Baron, I swear, you'll start attracting these people where they'll tell you faster, easier way to get it, and they'll tell you someone else to go to. Work with the Baron. Stay away from, unless you would get, like, actually serious and start working for, like, a year or so with some of the spirits. I'd say stay away from anyone that says this one will give you quick, instant results. I mean, unless it's like Legba or Ogbu or something. If it's someone that has all these danger symbols around them, and it's someone that most people, even non-initiates, will say, yeah, we pay him to go away, don't work with them. I've seen a lot of people selling stuff for certain spirits, and I'm not going to mention it and insult them, but it's like, traditionally they're paid to go away, and now all of a sudden they're being rebranded as these nice, misunderstood gods that would never hurt you. And I'm like, no, I was taught in my day to not go to them. In fact, when they approached me, my spirits got angry. So, like, stay with the traditional ones, the ones that you can find in a book, or the ones that you can find mostly on the internet. Stay away from anyone that you would have to, leave your spirits for, and you'll be fine. I know that was more information than the person asked for, but I've noticed once the Baron gets in, it seems like everybody starts to come in. That probably won't be experience for someone that just has a short-term relationship to get something done, to get help from him. But Baron tends to make himself at home, and then all of a sudden, you're knee-deep in Loa. So I hope that helps, and if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.